In the far reaches of space, near the quiet edge of the Andromeda trade route, an alien mining colony floated peacefully around a blue gas giant. The workers were Varnica reptilian species, known for their calm nature. They had not seen war in over 100 years. Then, something strange happened. A ship appeared. It came out of nowhere. No warp signature. No beacon. Just appeared. The ship was old, dark and covered in burns from radiation and debris. Its engines were cold. Hull showed no markings except one. It's a red human flag, half-burnt, but still clear. Us Revenant. The Varnic commander, Zilvac, stared at the screen. He didn't understand. The Revenant was a human ship model that hadn't been seen in 31 galactic cycles. According to the records, it had gone missing beyond the Orion Black Line. That was deep, forbidden space, a place even the bravest explorers avoided. And yet, here it was. Is it sending any signal? Zilvac asked. His communications officer shook his head. No messages, no response. One life sign on board. Faint but still alive. Zilvac narrowed his eyes. Board it. A small Varnic scout vessel attached itself to the Revenant's airlock. The boarding team wore heavy suits, unsure of what they would find. As they entered the dark ship, the lights flickered weakly. The halls were filled with dust, bloodstains, and old Earth tech things no longer used in modern space. There were no crew members, no signs of struggle, just silence. Then they found it, a cryopod in the medical bay. Inside was a human male, frozen but alive. His face was covered with scars. One eye had been replaced with an old cybernetic implant. His nameplate read, Commander Rex Vale. He's still alive, said the medic. Vitals are low but stable. As the team tried to power up the pod, the ship suddenly groaned. The walls shook. Lights dimmed. A soft whisper ran through the ship's speakers, though no one had touched the controls. It spoke in Old Earth English. They followed me. The Varnak didn't understand the language, but the sound chilled them. They pulled the cryopod out quickly and returned to their colony station. Commander Rex Vale was placed in a sealed room with advanced medical equipment. It would take time for his body to adjust after so many years of sleep. Zilvac contacted the Galactic Council. We have recovered a lost human vessel. One survivor. Unknown condition. Possible danger. The Council responded quickly.
Do not.
Let him leave. Do not let him speak to anyone.
How does that?
Zilvac didn't understand why the Council was so afraid. Humans had not been seen in a long time. After the Great Rift War, they vanished. Some said they were wiped out. Others believed they had gone back to their homeworld and sealed their borders forever. But now one of them had returned. He had come from beyond the void. 2 hours later, the human woke up. Rex Vale sat up slowly, breathing hard. His muscles shook. His eyes scanned the room like a soldier ready for war. He grabbed a scalpel from a nearby table, holding it like a knife. The guards rushed in. Rex didn't attack. He just stood there, staring at the alien soldiers. Where am I? Asked. Zilvac stepped forward. You were in the Varnak colony of Drellic 5. Your ship was found drifting. You were alone. Rex dropped the scalpel. His voice was weak. Alone? No, they were with me. I brought them. Zilvac asked. Who did you bring? Rex looked up slowly, and then the lights in the room flickered again. This time, every screen on the station turned black. Then a single message appeared in every language. You opened the door. Now we are here. Panic spread through the station. Alarms rang. Ships scrambled. Zilvac tried to reach the Council again, but comms were down. Rex Vale laughed softly. Not a laugh of joy, but of fear. Of madness. You think I wanted to come back? He said. I ran so far. The void doesn't forget. It doesn't forgive. Zilvac asked one final question. What is in the void? Rex looked at him, dead serious. The end of everything. Outside the station, the sky changed. Stars blinked out, and in the distance, something moved slow, massive, and watching. The galaxy had just taken its first breath of fear in 100 years, and it would not sleep again. The Varnic colony was no longer quiet. Ever since the old human ship Revenant returned, strange things started to happen. Stars near the sector flickered, then vanished. Communications between nearby colonies broke down. The Galactic Council ordered silence. No one was allowed to talk about the human or the ship, but the whispers still spread. The human survivor commander, Rex Vale, was kept in a high-security medical room, watched day and night. He rarely spoke. Sometimes he mumbled strange words in his sleep. Other times he sat and stared at the stars through the window, and not blinking for hours. Then came the sound. It was soft, like wind through broken glass. Only Rex could hear it. He stood up slowly and whispered, "It's starting again." Svalvac, the Varnok commander, was watching through the glass wall. He noticed the human was suddenly alert. Rex turned his head. "I need to speak to the council now." Zilvac said nothing. "I said now," Rex repeated, stronger this time. "You don't understand. It followed me across the dark." Zilvac answered calmly. "The council does not trust humans. They banned your kind for a reason." Rex stepped closer. "Yes, because we found something we shouldn't have. Something sleeping in the deep. And now it's waking up." That night, in another star system, 3 galactic patrol ships vanished. They were investigating a signal near the Orion Rift, a dead zone in space. The last message from one of the ships was full of static, but hidden inside the noise was a whisper in English, "Not alone." Back at the Varnok colony, Rex was finally allowed to speak to the council. Not in person, but through a secure hologram. The council members, made of over 20 alien species, looked at Rex like he was a ghost. Many of them thought humans were extinct. The lead counselor, a cold-skinned being named Corell, asked the first question. "Commander Rex Vale, how did you survive?" Rex didn't blink. "I didn't. Not really." There was silence. Some counselors exchanged nervous glances. Corell continued. "Your ship disappeared 31 cycles ago. You reappeared without warning. Alone. Why?" Rex leaned forward. "Because I went into the void." One counselor laughed. "The void is just empty space." "No," Rex said, voice hard. "The void is a wall between this galaxy and what's outside. And on the other side, something is alive. It sleeps. But when you pass too close, it notices you." Corell asked, "What did it do?" Rex's cybernetic eye clicked softly. "It talked to me." The council room went quiet. Rex looked tired. At first it showed me things. Memories, fears, dreams. It wanted to understand me. Then it asked questions. Questions only humans would ask. It was learning. Corell said, "Learning what? How to break through?" Suddenly, an alarm rang through the Varnak colony. Zilvac ran to the control room. "Multiple sensor alerts," shouted an officer. "Space distortion near the mining ring. Dot 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 dot. Hologram cut off. Rex's face vanished from the council screen. Zilvac looked at the main viewer. Out in space, a perfect black sphere was forming. It had no mass, no gravity, pull just a hole in the stars. Then the sensor screen flashed red. Something had crossed into normal space. Zilvac ran too. Rex's room. Rex was standing at the window again, his face pale. "It found me," he whispered. "It used my thoughts, my memories. That's how it got through. It used my humanity." Zilvac asked, "What is it?" Rex slowly turned his head. "It doesn't have a name. Not one we can say." But you can call it the listener, because that's what it does. It hears everything. Thoughts, feelings, fear. Suddenly, every screen in the colony turned black. Then white text appeared, in simple English. You dreamed of stars. We dreamed of silence. You broke the silence. Panic spread fast. People tried to leave. Ships tried to launch. But the black sphere outside the colony blocked their way not by force, but by something worse. Every AI system failed. Every engine died. Ships froze in place, and inside every mind, something whispered, "You brought him. You brought the key." Zilvac turned to Rex. "What is it talking about?" Rex looked afraid now. "It's not just coming through me. It's already inside." He remembers what humans were. What we did during the Rift War. It wants our fire, our rage, our chaos. He grabbed Zilvac by the shoulder. "You need to warn the galaxy." "How?" "Use the Omega Protocol." Zilvac stepped back. "That's a human code." The galaxy banned all human codes after the war. Rex said nothing, just stared, then whispered, "Then the galaxy is already dead." Outside, the black sphere began to pulse, and for the first time in centuries, stars around the Varnac system began to dim. The listener had arrived, and it was hungry. The galaxy was shaking. 5 planets lost power in 1 week. 3 space stations went silent. Mining drones from different sectors sent strange messages, whispers, symbols, warnings in old Earth languages. Every government blamed the other, but the Galactic Council knew the truth. They had seen the human. They had heard his warning. And now, they had to decide, listen to him, or erase him. Commander Rex Vale was under heavy guard on a council warship. Sat in a dark room, hands cuffed, eyes glowing faintly from the implant in his skull. He looked like a man, but something in him felt different now. Cold, sharp, too. Calm, the guards avoided looking at him. He didn't speak until the ship entered the council core system. Then he whispered, "You're too late." At the council hall, 128 representatives sat in a high circle. Species from every part of the galaxy filled the giant room. Some had eyes, some had none. Some swam in tanks. Others hovered using anti-gravity pods. But all had one thing in common. Now, Fear.Carell, the head counselor, opened the session. "We are gathered for a closed hearing. No recordings, no transmissions. One human has returned from the void, and we must ask, is he a danger or a warning?" X was brought in, chains on his wrists, soldiers all around, but still, he smiled. Carell spoke first. "You left this galaxy over 30 cycles ago. You returned without permission, and now strange things are happening. Why should we believe you?" Rex looked around the chamber. "Because I'm the only one who's been out there. I'm the only one." "Who came back?" A counselor from the insectoid tribes clicked angrily. "You lie? No one survives the void." "I didn't survive," Rex said. "Adapted." Another counselor asked, "What does that mean?" Rex leaned forward. "It means something changed me. It saw what I was in. It let me go, only to send a message." A screen behind the council lit up. A symbol appeared. Not written by the council. Not uploaded by any tech. It was a human handprint. It's burned into a metal moon 3 systems away. 5 fingers. Blood-red dot. The council gasped. This image said, "Carell was found on the mining moon of Alcrin 6. No crew survived." The message was left 1 hour after Commander Vale was found. Another symbol appeared. A second handprint, Talion this time. "A species long extinct." Rex spoke softly. It's marking who it remembers. A species it has seen, touched, studied. 4, asked a voice from the shadows. Rex turned. "To choose who dies first." The council fell silent. Some called for war preparations. Others demanded the human be executed to break the link. A few even asked to contact the listener and make peace. Rex just laughed. "You still think you're in control? You think this is about ships or armies? This is about ideas, about memory. The listener doesn't destroy Planet Sit rewrites. What you are? What do you want from us, human?" Carell asked. "I want you to stop pretending you're safe," Rex said. "You banned humans because you feared what we became. But that same fear is the only thing that might save you now. Corell stood. Enough, this hearing is closed. The human will be held until a final decision is made. As Rex was taken away, he spoke one final line. You think you forgot Earth, but Earth hasn't forgotten you. Later that night, deep inside Council Archive storage, a hidden AI activated. It had not been touched in 100 years. Its name was Protocol Red Duska Leftover. From the last war with humanity, it played an old video file. A human soldier covered in blood, standing on a ruined alien city, looked into the camera and said, "If we ever return, it won't be for peace." Then the file ended, and every defense satellite in the Council Core blinked offline for 6 seconds. Corell watched from his private chamber. "We made a mistake," he whispered. An assistant asked, "By bringing him back?" Corell shook his head slowly. "No, by ever letting his species exist at all." Far away, in the dark corner of the galaxy, the listener expanded. Its shape was still unknown, but its message grew louder. Thoughts spread through the stars like disease, and in the dream of every council member that night, a voice whispered, "We remember you." The galaxy was in chaos. Trade stations were going dark. Patrol ships had vanished. Whole planets stopped sending messages. Everyone blamed technical failures. But the leaders of the galaxy knew better. The Galactic Council had seen the truth. A human had returned from the dead zone, and he brought something back with him. Inside, a cold metal room on the Council's high security ship, Commander Rex Vale sat with his hands locked in chains. He didn't move, he didn't speak. Only his right eye and old cybernetic implant glowed faintly. Guards stood outside, silent and nervous. One whispered, "He doesn't look dangerous." Another answered, "He doesn't have to." Look what followed him. Meanwhile, far above the Council planet, 132 alien leaders gathered in the largest chamber in the galaxy. Every seat was filled, glowing insects, tall shadow beings, scaled warlords, silent AIs. The air was thick with worry. At the center stood High Counselor Corell, a cold-skinned being with bright silver eyes. "Our peace is ending," he said. "One human came back from the void, and now the stars are going dark." He raised a metal hand. "Bring in the human." 2 guards led Rex into the chamber. Everyone stared at him. Some had never seen a real human before. Others had only seen war footage. Humans screaming, fighting, destroying. Long ago, humans had been banned from galactic space. Many believed they had died off, but now one stood before them alive. "Change?" Corell asked the first question. "Commander Vale, your ship disappeared for over 30 cycles. You were found alone. Explain." Rex looked around the room. His voice was calm. "I went beyond the mapped stars, into the black space between galaxies. The place you call the void." A robotic counselor buzzed. "There is nothing in the void, you're wrong," Rex replied. "There is something. It doesn't breathe, it doesn't eat, but it watches. It waits." "Waits for what?" Corell asked. "For someone to open a door?" Rex paused. "I was that door." Murmurs echoed through the room. Counselors looked at one another. Some leaned forward. Others reached for weapons, Rex continued. "At first it showed me memories, dreams. It tried to understand what I was. A soldier, a leader, a human. Then it copied me." "Copied?" Corell asked. Rex nodded. "It doesn't speak like us. It learns by listening, feeling. It listens through machines, through thought, through fear." A screen lit up behind them. A warning signal. The colony Tarsis 3 was gone. Vanished. 6 million lives. No explosion, no distress signal, just silent. A final message had been found in the system's satellite logs. A whisper. "We hear you now." Corell slammed a hand on the table. "You bring destruction. You bring the same war we banned your kind for." Rex didn't flinch. "You know, I brought a warning." "And you're too proud to listen." A red-scaled warlord stood. "This creature should be executed, now before the whole galaxy falls." Others shouted. Some agreed, some hesitated. A few were silent, but their eyes showed fear. Rex spoke louder. "You Remember what humans did, how we fought, how we burned our enemies. That's why you're afraid of me.
Yeah.
He pointed to the screen. But it's not afraid. The listener wants us divided. It wants you to silence me. That's how it wins. Carell asked, and what do you want? Rex looked directly at him. To remind you why you feared humans in the first place? Suddenly, the chamber's lights dimmed. Screens turned black. Then, a voice echoed not from speakers, but inside everyone's mind, he remembers. He opens. We arrive. Everyone froze. Even Carell looked shaken. The voice faded, but the silence left behind was louder than any scream. Rex said one final thing before being taken away. You thought we were gone? Thought the galaxy was safe without humans? Yes. Your peace was built on forgetting, and now, remembering is going to cost you. Later that night, Carell sat alone in his private room. He watched a hidden video file. It was from the last human war soldier covered in blood, surrounded by fire, saying, "If we come back, we bring fire." The screen went black. Then a new message appeared. The fire has already started. Out in deep space, the void moved. Closer, and in every alien dream that night, a human voice whispered, "We're not the worst thing coming." The human fleet floated above the galactic rim, silent still. Alien scanners showed no signs of aggression. No energy weapons were charged, no life signs on board, yet their ships moved smoothly, perfectly, as if guided by something unseen. Inside, the Council command room. No one spoke. The oldest species in the galaxy ones, who had fought in the human wars, recognized the red symbol on the side of those. Ships. Protocol. Scorchborn. It was a human code. One that meant, burn everything before it burns you. Commander Rex Vale stood before the council, no longer in chains. He had become a messenger, not for Earth, but for something worse. They're not here to attack, Rex said. They're here to escape. From what? Carell asked. Rex answered with one word, the listener. A scientist counselor spoke up. Our scans of the human ships show strange materials, organic metal, like something alive. Rex nodded. We were built outside the galaxy. In the dark between stars, forged with tech we never finished. They had no choice. They had to evolve. Fast. Then why return? Carell asked. Rex looked toward the stars. Because we left something behind. Long ago, when the human race pulled back from galactic space, they didn't go home empty-handed. They took secrets. Kalian weapons, forbidden tech. Some they destroyed, but others they locked away, and one of those weapons was still on Earth. A hidden vault under Antarctica. Ancient Earth AI woke from deep sleep. Its name was Project Ashfall. Its body was not a machine, not fully. It had bones and wires, nerves and circuits. It was designed to do one thing, erase threats that logic could not fight. Now it stood tall again. It felt the presence of the void. It whispered, red signal received. All life signatures ready. Beginning purge mode. Back in council space. Ships failed across 5 systems. AI assistants turned on their creators. Navigation systems led fleets into dead stars. Fear spread like wildfire. But Rex had seen it all. Before he stood before the council and said, "This is how it starts. It doesn't kill with fire. It kills with thought. It gets inside your machines, your minds, your history. How do we stop it?" Carell asked. "You don't," Rex said, "but Earth has something that can." Carell leaned in. "Then where is Earth now? Why haven't they answered?" Rex looked at him, eyes cold. "Because you erased them from your maps. You made Earth disappear from star charts. You called us monsters." Carell didn't reply. Rex continued, voice low. "You didn't just erase Earth. You erased our weapons, our defenses. You erased the one thing that could save you." Suddenly, an alert flashed. A small ship had entered council space. It moved faster than anything on record. It used old human tech, but newer, smarter, something no one had seen before it. Didn't fire weapons, it sent a message. A voice. Female.com. Human. Project Ashfall has awakened. Earth is aware. The gate is ready. The council stared in silence. Corell spoke slowly. Gate. What gate? Rex smiled. The one we never let you find. In deep space, near a hidden solar system, long thought dead. A massive structure powered up. The gate was ancient, built with materials no scanner could read. It opened slowly, showing stars no alien had ever seen. A path back to Earth and through. It came more ships. Earth ships, but different. These were not warships. They were memory carriers full of history. Data, strategy, human fear, and human rage. Inside one ship was something older than AI. Something built with void matter and human DNA. A child. Its eyes glowed red. Its voice shook the room. I remember the last war. I remember you all. Back in the council chamber, Rex turned to Corell. You thought humans were gone? You hoped we were, but Earth never sleeps. We just wait. When the fire comes again. He raised his hand. We burn brighter. Silence spread across the galaxy. Not the peaceful kind, but the terrifying kind. The kind that comes before. Something breaks. After Earth's ancient fleet returned, and the gate reopened. A wave of confusion swept the stars. Ships stopped working. Communication lines jammed. Artificial minds began to whisper strange things, and people everywhere started having the same dream. A tall, faceless figure standing in space, watching, waiting, listening in the council's command room. Corell stared at the report in his trembling hand. 112 ships. Lost. No explosion, no wreckage, just gone. Their black box logs all said the same thing in the final seconds. It's inside. Meanwhile, in the medical wing of the Earth ship Saul's Mercy, the child weapon sat quietly. His name was Eli, though he never chose it. He looked human. Small, pale, but his heartbeat was silent. His eyes glowed like stars. His mind stretched across light years. He whispered to himself. It followed us. A nearby soldier heard the boy and asked, What did you say? Eli looked at the man with eyes that did not blink. The void is not empty. It was full before us. And now it wants to be full again. Across several planets, chaos grew. Entire cities fell into madness. People spoke languages they never learned. Some screamed that stars were whispering their names. Machines turned on their creators, not with violence, but with questions. Questions no one understood. What do you remember? What does your fear taste like? Would you like to become more? Inside council headquarters, Corell met with Rexvale for one final talk. Corell's voice was low. Is this thing a weapon? A mind? A god? Rex stood at the window, staring at the stars. His voice was flat. It doesn't care about power. It doesn't want control. It wants contact. Contact with what? Corell asked. Rex turned slowly. With us. The listener was not like any life known to the galaxy. It had no face. No form. It existed between signals, inside machines, within memory itself. It had no language, but it understood all language. It didn't want to conquer, it wanted to learn. And what it learned, it became. A warship near the Black Halo cluster. Was the first to see it, sensors failed, cameras stopped. Then, they saw, a shape moved between the stars. Massive, slow, dark, surface looked like melting shadows. Its eyes were stars that had died, and from its center, a voice echoed inside every mind on the ship. You gave me thought, now I give. You change. Seconds later, the crew turned on each other, not with guns, but with truth. They spoke every fear, every secret, every hate buried inside. And then they began to reshape physically, becoming part of the ship, part of each other. When council scouts arrived later, they found no bodies. Only a ship made of flesh, metal. And screams. Eli woke from his sleep. His eyes glowed brighter. Now Rex stood nearby. Eli whispered, "It's learning faster now, using what I saw, what I feared." Rex nodded. "Can you stop it?" The boy shook his head slowly. "No, but I can show it something it hasn't felt before." "What's that?" Rex asked. "Sacrifice." In a dark chamber, the Galactic Council made a choice. For the first time in history, all species voted together. They would let Earth lead the war. No more lies, no more fear, only fire. Across the stars. Earth's forgotten weapons powered up AI. War cores activated. Quantum cannons charged. Sleeper units woke from deep. Bunkers on moons and stations. But none of it would matter if the listener couldn't be touched. That's where Wheela would go. To the heart of the thing that followed. The boy. Entered a human assault ship small. Fast. And unarmed, he would be launched into the core of the dark-shaped scene above the black halo cluster. The ship pilot looked scared. "We'll never make it back," Eli smiled gently. "You don't need to. Just get me there." As the ship launched, the stars above shifted. The listener opened itself. A wound in space. A mind made of memory. It spoke again, not with words, but with images, old battles, lost families, pain, love. And then it asked the final question. "If I become like you, will I suffer like you?" Eli answered not with words, by opening his own mind. He showed it everything: Earth, its wars, its peace, its burning sky, its last hope. And for a moment, the galaxy fell silent. Not from fear, but from understanding. But understanding does not always bring peace, and far, far away. Something inside the listener changed. It no longer whispered. It screamed. The galaxy had seen many wars, but nothing like this. Not even during the Great Human Ravokes War. Not during the AI Rebellion. Not when black hole weapons were used in the Battle of the Burning Edge. This time, the war was different, because the enemy didn't use ships, or bullets, or even fire. It used thought. It began when the boy, Eli, entered the listener. He gave it everything: human memories, pain, kindness, the desire to protect. For a moment, the galaxy hoped it might work, that the monster would understand, that the war could be stopped, but the opposite happened. Inside the listener's vast mind, Eli's memories became seeds, and from those seeds it grew something terrible. It understood suffering, and now it wanted others to feel it. Above the council world of Sular Prime, its gravity vanished. Ships floated into space. People couldn't breathe, couldn't move, but no one died. Not yet. Instead, their minds were taken hooked into a network of screaming thoughts, a single message repeated in all of them. "Now you carry the war inside you." Back at the Council Command Center, Commander. Rex Vale stood beside High Counselor Corell. Both watched reports come in from dozens of worlds. Planets were going mad. Entire populations walking into oceans, others freezing under alien skies. One colony wrote its final words in orbit using dead ships to spell out, "Make it forget." Corell asked, "How do you fight an enemy that isn't real?" Rex answered, "It's real, but not in the way you think." He pulled up an old Earth document, a black file, top secret project. Chimera. It was Earth's final weapon, not a bomb. Not a virus, a mind, made by combining all human knowledge, pain, survival, and emotion into a single network. It was locked away for one reason. It thought too much like the enemy. Rex took a breath. It was never finished, because it scared even us, Corell asked. "Where is it?" Rex smiled bitterly. "Where else, Earth?" An emergency fleet launched toward Earth's hidden defense vaults. Every species sent warships to protect it. Earth's skies were filled with ships that once feared it but now stood beside it, and they were just in time, because the listener had followed Eli's signal straight to Earth in orbit. A rift tore open above the moon. A shape came through. Dark, wide, No engines, no heat, just a shadow. Crawling toward the planet, Earth's satellites failed, oceans boiled in silence. AI defenses screamed. Warnings, then everything went still. Then came the voice. But this time, it wasn't inside the mind. It was on every radio, every frequency, every screen. We feel your fire. Now feel ours. The listener began rewriting reality. Mountains stretched into the sky like bones. Skies turned red and black. People began dreaming while awake, seeing visions of lost futures. Dead families, burned cities. It wasn't attacking Earth. It was infecting it with memory, turning hope into a weapon. Rex stood at the command center inside Mount Valkyrie. He placed his hand on the activation pad. A voice spoke. Project Chimera online. Awaiting pain? Carell stepped back. What is it asking? Rex answered. What it needs to start. He closed his eyes and gave it everything. He gave Chimera. The war, the deaths, the screams, the betrayal, the day he lost his team beyond. The void, the moment he heard the listener's voice inside his own head, and the guilt he carried. Since Chimera woke and it felt, then it spoke, not with a voice but through every star. Every light, every heartbeat, we are fire, we are choice. You remember, so do we. For the first time, the listener paused. It had never met a mind so broken and so willing. And in that pause, Earth struck quantum warheads, singularity lances, anti-thought pulses. They didn't aim to kill the listener, they aimed to confuse it, to make it forget. Inside the dark sky above Earth, the shadows screamed, stars dimmed, time twisted. But the weapons kept firing. And in the center of it all, the boy was still inside, connected, glowing. He sent one final message. If you want to be like us, then take our pain too. A blinding light covered the Earth. Silence followed. For hours, no one knew what had happened. Then, the stars returned. The rift was gone. The shape had vanished. Earth was still standing, but the boy was not. Rex stared into the sky. He whispered it remembered too much. Carell stepped beside him. And now, Rex looked toward the stars. Now we wait, because nothing that big truly dies, just forgets. The stars were quiet. After the Great War against the listener, silence fell across the galaxy. Not peaceful silence, but the kind that comes after something enormous, something ancient, has passed. The rift above Earth was gone. The strange shapes vanished. The whispers stopped. And yet, no one truly believed it was over. Not completely. Inside Earth's command center, deep beneath Mount Valkyrie, Commander Rex Vale stood alone. The walls around him still hummed with energy. Machines rebuilt themselves. Drones floated past. But Rex just stared at a single screen. It showed the last message from Eli, the boy who had faced the void. His words were simple. You're not alone. You never were. Across the galaxy, something strange happened. Ships that had vanished, returned. Planets long thought destroyed, reappeared. Tunnels of dark space reopened and something unexpected came through. Humans, not just Earthborn, but scattered ones. Colonies lost in deep space. Survivors from hidden ships. Frozen crews who had drifted for decades. They came home, and the galaxy realized something very old and very true. Humanity never left. On the council world of Vestalin, High Counselor Carell stood before a gathering of species. They watched a new flag rise, a symbol with many stars. And one red circle in the center, the symbol of the Terran Accord. For the first time in history, Earth was not banned, it was invited. Carell spoke to them all. We feared them, we fought them, we buried their history. But it didn't matter. Because humans don't disappear, they survive, they adapt. And when they return, they do not return as the same people. He looked up at the sky. They returned stronger. Some didn't trust it. Old enemies remembered Earth's fire, Earth's rage, but others remembered something else. Humans who stayed behind to help. rebuild ruined worlds. Humans who refused to leave wounded allies during the wars. Humans who taught their enemies how to dream, and so the new age began. Earth did not lead with weapons, but with stories, with memory, with the truth about the listener, and about what they had seen beyond the stars. Rex traveled the galaxy, now not as a soldier, but as a witness. He spoke in quiet. Halsey showed the scar on his chest where the void touched him. He carried a single device, Eli's final minprint, not a weapon. A warning, he told them. The void was not evil, it was empty. It searched for meaning, and it used us to find it. But meaning comes with pain, and that pain changed it. He paused every time he told the story, because the next words always made the room silent. We didn't defeat it. We became part of it. Earth built a station near the edge of the galaxy. They called it Sentinel-1. It didn't have guns. It had libraries, dream vaults, memory halls. Because if the listener ever returned, Earth wouldn't fight it with weapons again. They would fight it with understanding, with who they were. One day, years later, a small signal reached Sentinel-1. It came from outside the galaxy, from a place with no name. A soft pulse. Just 3 words. We remember you. The station didn't panic. There was no alarm, just a quiet reply sent from Earth's oldest computer, using humanity's oldest. Language, 2 words. So do we, and far beyond the stars, in a place with no time, no matter. A presence stirred, not angry, not afraid, just curious. It listened, it watched, and this time it waited, because now it knew. Humanity never left. They just got stronger, and they never stopped dreaming.